Well guys, I'm about to chop up the mini semi. So the bed on this thing, I was originally thinking I was just going to put plywood on there, but I've got these pieces of aluminum, and what they actually are is we were working in a outdoor amphitheater, and this is the bleachers or the seating, and they had a whole bunch of these pieces that they were cutting off and just throwing in the dumpster, and I grabbed up a whole bunch of them, and I think I'm going to do the bed out of these and this back section. As you can tell, I got the body panels on here with the drawer is all painted now, and they're working good. Got the back panels painted and put back on, and I did start on some of the decking, which I think is going to look really good. But what I've got to do before I finish that is some wiring that I have to do. I put the brake lights back here in the back piece, and I've started wiring it. Got the wire partially run up through there, but you know, I've got my underglow lights that need to be wired up back here, and I'm going to put some of the little marker lights in these side panels. You can tell by all the wire that I pulled out that I got to put a bunch back in. So let me get to that. These are very scratched up because they were on the mud flaps of the semi before, but we're going to try to touch them up a little bit. And I got to put a second coat on this to cover up some of that. Just getting this wired for right now. So I got some of the underneath lighting done. I've got one of the blue underglows there and a blue underglow there. And then I put one here and one under here that'll kind of light up the back side of the tire. And then I've got our transformer emblem put back on there, and got some other little orange lights. I'll turn all these on when I get the other side done, but I've got this wire right here that goes back to the brake lights that I've got back there, and it needs to go about 2 feet further with the black jacket on it, and then it needs to split off to different places, so I've got to add on to that. But it comes back here to the brake lights and that type of stuff. Let me get a little bit more wiring on there and I'll turn these lights on and show you what they look like. This DJ, my best shop buddy. He's really sick though. He's really skinny. He's not feeling very good. He come up diabetic and we started giving him insulin, but he got to where he wouldn't take it anymore. He's really sick right now. Alright, I'm going to get in here and turn the lights on. So I've got the blue ones on, so you can see the blue underglow. So I've got these, those, and that one back there. You can see that one on the other side. You can see them glowing right there. Let me turn them off. Turn all the little yellow ones on. That's one that's existing. I have problems with those little suitcase connectors, they're called. Alright, well, that looks good. I'll have to just go in there and recrimp the wire and it'll be fine. Alright, it's working good. So I'm done wiring for the night. Let's do something else. So I got all the decking done on here. I think it looks really good. I do have a little bit of overhang right here with no support on it at each corner back here and each corner up front. So I got these little brackets that I'm going to put on here just to help hold the corner up a little bit on each side. But let me get that done. So this is the pieces that I'm going to use to make ramps, and it needs to be, the ramp needs to be 16 inches wide, and these are 9.5 inches each. So what I did is I ripped the edge off of one, and basically I'm just going to overlap it. This is not really thick enough to make a huge difference in the thickness of it. Let's see. Got a couple of screws in it. Bunch of screws that I'm going to put in here, and then I'll have a little piece of metal, a little piece of angle on the end of here that will just kind of hook into the piece on the back of the semi. So this is the piece right here that I made to act as kind of a hook on the end of here to be able to hang it on the little lip that's in there. Let me get it screwed on. Didn't the ramps turn out really good? I really like how they do. They hook on that little lip right there. Got a little lip that it hooks right onto. And a benefit of having to cut one side of these off is I have this nice little piece right here that can go on here. It's a nice little trim piece to cover the ends of that up. So I'm going to get that cut and put on there. Well, after some minor modifications, I finally got the ramps to do like that. That's what I was shooting for all along. I think that works pretty good. And I'll have to put something over this to keep them from bouncing out. But that works pretty good. So I've got this piece of steel mounted across here that I was going to mount a winch to, i.e. this. So if I mount it flat like that, that means it's actually going to be pulling from down. I need it to lay like this, because you have the cable lead that goes on the front of here, so it needs to be pulling in the right direction. So I made a bracket. I found these two pieces of stuff that I already had, and I welded them together. And then this is the plate that the winch mounts to, and this goes on here, and I'll show you how I made it. But it will go on basically something like that, and then the lead will mount on here. So let me get all this mounted and get it wired up. Well, I already knew that I was going to have to cut the bottom of this door off a little bit because it wasn't going to clear this. But now that I've got the winch on there, it really doesn't clear, so I'm going to have to cut a little bit off the bottom of here. And I've got some little spring type things that will hold this door open. I've been just propping it open, and I've been afraid somebody's going to knock the prop out or something looking under there. So we'll see if I can get those little spring hinges put on there too. Well, I got the winch mounted on there. I still don't have it wired up yet. And then I've got this door to where it will go up and stay now with those little jewels. And then when I get ready to put it down, I just push it down and then latch it. When this roof piece right here was on the golf cart, it was actually a nose piece on the front of the golf cart, and this was a piece that went in here somewhere in that general area that was a dashboard piece. I don't really remember what it did, but I had already painted it thinking I was going to use it some kind of way on here a long time ago. But I think what I'm going to do is flip it over this way, mount it somewhere here in the middle, and I'm thinking about having lights in it. But I'm thinking about some white lights to kind of light the bed up, and then maybe some more orange lights on here. But I'll get started on that and see what I come up with. And just like that, it's all done. Now that took several hours, not just that. But I did get the winch wired up the rest of the way. I put the control box in here. This actually has the plug-in, so you can use it wired or it does wireless. So got that done, and then I also had to redo some of the wiring inside to make all that work. But something that I did here is I doubled my power. I have 2 batteries in here now, paralleled, and I put a power shut off right there, and then there's the gas shut off right behind it. But that took me a pretty good while. So let's get all these turned on and see what they look like. I've got the power turned on in here. So turn on the power in here. That should be the orange lights. Did they light up there?
Yeah.
Alright. So glad that works. Alright, now this should be the backlights. Boy, those are bright, aren't they?
I was not prepared for that.
Goodness gracious. I might have to aim them. I'm gonna have to aim them down a little bit. They're too far back, but that's an easy adjustment. But then turn this on. That will. But this also has the free spool option on it, where you can pull out on it and free spool it, which is probably what I'll do most of the time. But that's pretty close to getting this wrapped up. I'll get everything put back together tomorrow when it's hopefully not raining. We can pull it out and show it off really good in the sunlight, hopefully.